recession hit baby boomers very hard. Many losing pensions, their retirement, and investment plans. At least losing value in those plans. And if they own a home, it's probably worth much less than they thought it would be. So instead of relaxing and enjoying their golden years, they will keep working well into their 70s and beyond. Joining me now to discuss it, our panel. Rich DeSalvo, former managing director of Morgan Stanley, Lori Rothman of the Fox Business Network, and Matt McCall, president of Penn Financial Group. So you tell me, Rich, why? Why are they doing it? They have to do it for all those reasons that we just cited, or is it becoming more of just a choice? They just want to keep working.
It is becoming a choice. Understand something that, let's put the rocking chair away for a minute. You know, Rockwell pictures, right? Let's put it away. They're exchanging that for running shoes and spin classes. So there's a healthy, the baby boomer generation is becoming healthier, and therefore they want to work. They don't want to just stop at age 65 and then sit down and watch reruns of television shows anymore.
Okay, now I'm sure that's true for some of them, but I think a lot of people don't want to work. They want to hit 65 and they want to take it easy, and yet it's really hard. It's really hard, Lori.
Absolutely. I think people are nervous. I think with unemployment in this country at 8.3%, the changing profile of the labor force in this country, those of us who are lucky enough to have a job feel a little extra pressure right now to hold on to it. Social Security is in jeopardy. We don't even know if my children, let alone us, you know, or let alone our children, if we're going to have that benefit at 65.
And yet, Matt, the latest numbers seem to suggest most of these boomers have confidence that they'll be okay for the next, 5 years or so. Short term, they feel confident they're going to be okay on their savings and so on. But when you talk about long term, and hopefully they will have long lives, as the national average now is over 77 years, they're worried. They're really worried.
And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but a lot of them really should be worried, because a lot of these boomers didn't start saving at an early age, and they wait till they're 40 or 50 years old and realizing, wow, I retire in 5 or 6 years, I don't have any money to retire.
I think a lot of people thought Social Security would be there for them, no?
Well, they thought Social Security, also they thought the stock market. Think about the boom we had in the mid-'80s to 2000. The stock market went about sixfold. They think, well, I can just keep it in the market eventually by the time...
Or my house.
See, the stock market in the last 13 years went nowhere, the same place. The housing market crashed in the last decade, so suddenly their retirement is gone, basically. People are losing pensions, so everything that they planned on, they relied on, are now gone.
Is that what it is? Because I think about, like my mom's generation, and they seem to be, not really my mom so much, but they seem to be more savers. Mom, but they seem to be more savers. So if they're going out to work now, do you think it is a function of the house loss value, my pension loss value, or is it more what you say? They want to get to the spin class, they're living life, and that includes working and being out there.
Well, based on your question, yes, no. Here's what I mean by that. Yes, housing markets are down, the market's been flat, we understand that, but understand savers. My parents, statistically, back in the 1940s, they saved over 40% of their earnings. Today, the baby boomer, there's many statistics, anywhere from 2 to 10% was saving. So let's average it at 6%. They're not savers. Remember the old bumper stickers that said, "He who dies for the most toys wins"?
Yeah.
That was the saving. There was no savings.
But
now
there's
they have to
also no
save.
reason to save because interest rates are so low. So if that's a preferred investment, and just to add to your point about the stock market, it was interesting today. I was noticing that the stock market rally that we've had, we're basically back to where we were before the 2008 financial crisis. Dow's about to hit 13,000. So don't let the volatile markets scare you away from maxing out your retirement program.
But here's what I want to know. Are we ever going to get to retire? I mean, let's say we want to. Let's say we want to retire at 65. Forget the spinning. Forget that. All right? We did enough spinning. Now we want to relax.
Okay.
We want to be on the beach in Florida. Is that a reality for most Americans now? Hit age 65, take it easy.
Yes, it is. And I think it depends what age you are. People my age, if you're saving right now and you do it in the right way, sure, in 30 years from now, you're going to have plenty of money.
How much saving? How much do we have to be saving? We can't. Most of us live paycheck to paycheck.
Most of us live outside our means as well. We also go to dinner 3 nights a week. We go out to the bar 2 more nights. We go out 30 days per month.
That's New York. That's New York. That's not how real Americans live. That's your Wall Street background talking.
Well, I think we just got to fix Social Security. Much easier said than done, absolutely. But, if you raise the retirement age from 65 just a couple of years, it means more people are going to pay the employment tax, and so they'll go into that fund. I also believe in this means testing where, maybe not everybody really should qualify for Social Security benefits because maybe I have $5 in the bank, but if I'm married to a millionaire, sure, in today's standards, I would qualify for Social Security.
You'd look at that and not even consider it. Anybody under the age of 40, in my mind, should not even be considering Social Security.
Or even older. heard about these, 70-year-old brain surgeons who started taking jobs as taxi drivers and so on because they lost everything and they just needed to pay the bills. That seems to be happening more to regular American folks who haven't been defrauded by anybody, but just who didn't wind up at 70 with the money they thought they'd have. And, they're essentially forced to go back to work to pay their bills and wonder how long they're going to be able to sustain themselves. That is a sad reality if these folks don't want to be working and they're forced to. Is that happening more?
It is happening more. So what's happening is there has to be a reality check of where I have to understand I'm going to retire where and going to retire into what. What I mean by that is if I live in New York, I might have to sell my home, move this area, and move to a place where housing is less expensive. So part of it is the compromise of square footage. You're going to live in a smaller home, but you know something? Hopefully your spouse is your home.
Well, how big a factor is that, though, the home? Because I think a lot of people actually think that that's a lot of their retirement money, the equity they have in their home.
Right.
And look what's happened to the housing market over the past few years. I mean, did a lot of people lose the retirement account they thought they had in the bricks and mortar around them?
Yes, they did. Absolutely they did. In fact, we all know the problems with housing. Okay, so that's a delay in terms of getting dollars into your savings account, right? So we can live off the income, so to speak. There's a second one, Megan, I'll share with you. Our parents are living longer. So what does that really mean? First of all, I have an obligation to help support them. They're not necessarily passing, if I may, from the first disease, but they're living much longer than the second disease. Might be Alzheimer's, whatever it is. They're living longer.
No, you said that before the show. You said the 65 is the new 55.
That's right.
I mean, everything is getting shifted back to the younger, I don't know, you're dying later and you have longer lives and you have a longer time to live on retirement. And Social Security is not going to do it. So you've got to save. How much should we be saving?
That's a lot more than it's tough to say because if you retire at 65, you can easily live another 20 years. That's a lot. That's a long period of time. 30 years. I mean, and most people don't care.
She's living on Social Security.
No.
Her generation at work. She was born in
Teresa in the morning, every time I go to Starbucks, she's about 65 years old. She makes a heck of a coffee and she had to go back to work. But you know what she's also doing? She's taking a job away from a 22-year-old person who's now in the same situation that the baby boomers may be because they're not making money and saving as well. It's going to be spiraling down to the next generation.
Criticism of Social Security when it was established right after or as part of the New Deal.
I remember when I was on America's Newsroom with Bill, and there was a story about an 80-year-old woman who took a job in a 7-Eleven and she got robbed. And she stopped the robbery by going on her knees and praying to God that this guy wouldn't hurt her, and the guy left. And I said to him on the air, what is an 80-year-old woman doing working at a 7-Eleven? And some of our viewers were so mad because, assuming that she shouldn't have been there. And one of the guys wrote me saying, what was she doing there? He said, the job of stupid anchor was already taken. But it's, the point is more and more of our senior citizens are working. They're doing a bang-up job. And, who knows what that Starbucks hostess is thinking of you in the morning. Imagine you're probably like, look at this whippersnapper in a pinstripe suit and going out to dinner 3 times a week into the bars.
I'm still hosting business news at 80 years old. Why not?
Amen to that, sister. Look at Barbara Walters.
Yeah,
she's an
Retirement should be a transition, not necessarily a binary event. You retire on Friday, and then you're sitting home Friday cleaning out the garage.
Yeah, then you're really bummed out. All right, guys, thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Well, the police take down